Hey y'all. I just wanted to do an impromptu live just essentially just to rant because well, you probably heard of this. Thank Christ this fucking horse has drastically improved because when I first heard the story, I was pretty fucking livid. Now, the story is I forget what fucking place. It really doesn't matter at this point because the riots have spread across the country. They have been in Charleston. Like, why the fuck does something several states away have to get our shit smashed up? But beside the point. So this motherfucker on a horse, he was deemed like, what was it? Census cowboy or some shit by the mayor. What was it? Chicago? I want to say it was Chicago. Abused his horse. Went 7.5 miles on the horse, no shoes. Like, I didn't raise horses myself, but I had neighbors with horses growing up, and I grew up on a farm. Horses are like big dogs. Cows, pigs, goats, horses, they all act like big dogs. And the fact that this motherfucker would ride a horse so hard on the highway for 7.5 miles, no shoes, to the point where the motherfucker's hoof is bleeding, straight up animal abuse. And now I believe in working animals. I do. I don't think that's animal abuse that animals can work. I believe that working animals are happy animals. But this is different. This is not a working animal. This is an abused animal. And the reason why I bring up working animals is because I know if it wasn't, I think it was last year. Yeah, probably, because I don't think they were doing this year because COVID. But, oh, hello, kitty. Say hello to the kitty, everyone. But I believe it was last year, 2019, in Charleston, a horse had collapsed, just fainted from the heat. I think it was dehydrated or something. These horses live in air-conditioned stables. They have a pretty cushy life, as far as I'm concerned. They get shoes. They have shifts where they don't work as long. They only go a few blocks around. These working horses downtown that pull the carriages and trolleys and what have you, they only go so far. They only go a little lap around Charleston and then they get switched out. These horses aren't being abused. And even then they get overwhelmed because of the fucking heat and humidity here. And this dude is over here riding his horse so fucking hard that his hoof is bleeding. The vet treating the horse said that it's like making an 80-year-old woman run a full marathon. You wouldn't let your dog run 7.5 miles until her paws started bleeding. You wouldn't let your dog do that. So why is it okay for a horse to do that? Horses are smart fucking animals, my dude. People don't realize that farm animals are just bigger versions of house pets. Chickens act like cats. Goats, pigs, horses, they act like dogs. Cows, they act like big dogs. When I had a farm, I grew up on a fucking poultry farm, and I had a pig. Her name was Penny. She was this big-ass fucking pig, easily, almost 1,000 pounds, probably 800-pound pig. This bitch, we would let her out and let her run with the dogs. She would just run along with them like she was just another dog. She loved belly rubs. Just because they're larger quadrupeds doesn't mean that they're any different from the dog living in your house. It pisses me off. People don't realize, one thing that irritates me about how people treat animals is, one, putting their human feelings on animals, and then completely taking away the humanity that animals actually have. I don't want to say humanity, but, animals are smart. Animals are smarter than people give them credit for. There have been so many stories of, this person's pet pig saved him from having a seizure or a heart attack, or this person's cat alerted the neighbor when they were having a heart attack or whatever. It's there's so many stories like that. And the fact that this guy is just whipping the shit out of his horse, when I grew up on a dirt road. This road I lived on didn't get paved on until I was probably 11 or 12 years old. And I had neighbors with horses, and they got so shitty that the fucking road got paved because, you know, they didn't want to shoe their horses, and it was bad for their feet. It's like, essentially. Like, this is what I mean when I say all lives matter. I'm including animal lives when I say all lives matter. I'm including unborn lives when I say all lives matter. Like, holy shit, y'all. It doesn't need to be said that running a horse on hot asphalt for 7.5 miles with no shoes, kind of bad for the fucking horse. Am I right? Am I right? Oh, man. Now, okay. I do want to kind of switch places and get off of horse lives matter, because all animal lives matter. All lives matter, essentially. I'd go get my MAGA hat, but I want to keep this short. Somewhat related, I don't really hate the term differently abled, which is like a very lefty term, and I know, like, I hate that I don't hate that. But let's see. Exactly. Like, supposedly it was supposed to be a protest for all the kids that were shot in Chicago. It's like, as if you fucking cared. As if you fucking cared. But, yeah. The other thing I wanted to switch gears to was, I don't hate the term differently abled, because you might know I have birth defects. I have scoliosis, spina bifida, and human hip dysplasia, as well as MTHFR, which is like methyl tetrahydrofolate reductase. I think I got that right. To make it like the long story short, it's kind of like being lactose intolerant, but to vitamin B12, because when you're lactose intolerant, you don't have the lactase for lactose, so I don't have the enzyme that breaks down B12. So of course, like, I was actually, just before this, I was watching something about transableism, and those people pissed me the fuck off. Like, I can understand if it's like a mental disorder, like dysmorphia, dysphoria, whatever. If you feel like your hand is not there, if you feel like you need to have like one of your arms missing, like, that is another thing. But then actually making yourself disabled, or making yourself blind or deaf or whatever the fuck, and then getting yourself on like government handouts while I'm not even able, and I was just born like this. It's like, y'all, it ain't really fair, is it? I thought about getting either a shirt or hat like that. I would not be, actually. Well, honestly, yeah, because like, okay, I'll give you this one little thing. Every fucking working person that I've met in the last year is a big Trump supporter. Okay? Like, we had this guy fix the fucking kitchen sink. Big ass Trump supporter. He liked to watch the Joe Rogan podcast, and he liked to drink his beer, and et cetera, et cetera. It's like, working ass people, they're going to vote. They have people employed underneath them who they influence, who just might vote like that, because I got a job just recently, and my first like training day was today, so that was great. And I'm now working corporate, so I'm not really gonna mention what place I'm working at now. But they have this huge values of just really it just screams Trumpism. Their whole values of the company is very, you know, whatever it takes, it takes. Or whatever the fuck the motto is, or some shit. Give them to me. I joke. Hopefully I should be getting some money soon, because oh my god, a bitch has been broke. Back to on the transableism thing. It pisses me off. Like, I'm not able to get government benefits, but these people can put battery acid in their eyes and suddenly become eligible. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. When I was a baby, immediately after I was born, I had to wear hip braces. Like, fuck you. Okay? until I got an x-ray to confirm my birth defects, I thought it was all in my head. So don't come up here and tell me that I believe I'm actually disabled. I feel like I should cripple myself in some way. It's like, you don't want that, motherfucker. You don't. It hurts to stand in one spot for 15 minutes, like without like walking around or stretching my body or anything like that, without having to shift my weight around, because just standing there makes my back feel like it's doing this shit and just compressing down. Because like my scoliosis is right here. It does a little curve right here. It's like 13 degrees or something, but it's still enough to hurt. In fact, I saw this thing. Because of all of my things, I read a lot of medical papers and articles and shit about these issues. So I read that people with a smaller degree of a curve tend to be in more pain with people with a higher degree. I don't know if that's bullshit or not. You can call me out for it, but I remember seeing this lady around. She must be a local because I've seen her everywhere. And this poor woman, she must have like a 45 fucking degree scoliosis. It's like, she's like this. But she looks like she gets around fine. Meanwhile, I'm over here like, just like, I'm in pain. Doing dishes. But like, whatever. They're afraid they're gonna get fired. Like, I didn't bring this up to my boss today, but I was gonna say like, hey, if someone were to say, that woman is racist and you should fire her because she said this, this, and this, what would happen? You know, like, I would assume, like, my boss is pretty chill. Already, I like him. He's a pretty cool guy. Cool dude. Just the values that the store has trained me with and taught me and, like, drilled in my head over the last 2 or 3 days, it just seems very Trumpian. And the fact that the store manager just screams Trump supporter, I don't think I would get fired. I'm sorry. Either way, I've already gone on for 12 minutes now. And I've ranted about the 2 things I wanted to rant about. Essentially, fuck this guy. And differently abled is not that weird of a term, even though I don't like the leftistness about it. The leftistness. Either way, I'm gonna fuck off. I gotta go into work tomorrow. I'll see y'all later. Also, sorry, but don't run away from me, kitten. I'm just gonna fuck off now. Bye.